Hi everyone, Maxine here with Tink and I Treasures. Welcome to my studio. Today I thought we would just have a little play with making and then decorating some envelopes. So we're going to use the method that I have showed before for going any fancy punch boards that, in my opinion, are way too expensive for the limited use. So I am using a grid. What you do need is some kind of grid that you can lay something out on, and a ruler. Okay, so I've got this laid out, and this hits about the 1/2 inch mark. So I'm going to go 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch. So 2.5 inches from the point. We're going to fold it in. And I'm using cardstock. This is actually textured cardstock. It's pretty cool. I have no idea where I got it, but I found it in my stash and I thought, oh, that's a good size for an envelope. So again, we're going to go in 2.5 inches from the point and fold in. Now, of course, these measurements are based on the overall size of the paper we're starting with. So if you're starting with something else, it's going to be different. This is 8 inches square. Okay, so from there, we want to bring the bottom up, and I'm going to line this up. Okay, so right here is where we're going to measure from, and we're going to bring this up about 1/2 inch. See what that does. I like to bring it up so we're a little bit above, this right here. Okay, and then again, we're going to line up where the fold is. Across here where the fold starts, we're going to come down about 1/2 inch, and we're going to fold. Okay, so we're going to open this back up, and if you can see these little triangles that were made, we're going to cut those out on all 4 sides. And angle in ever so slightly. To get rid of the bulk. I think they lay nicer without these corners. And if you recall, when people showing a punch board, they have a little punch that actually goes into these corners and does that little punch out. So basically that's what we're doing with scissors. We're doing a little punch out. Okay, so bring these back up, and I like, now this is purely optional, depends on whether you like the point on the bottom flap, or you like, you know, a straight edge here. So when you bring this up, you have this straight edge. So that's, you know, totally up to you on whether you like the point or not. I don't care for the point, so I always cut that off. Sometimes I'll fold it under and glue it, depending on the paper and whether or not I think it needs, you know, extra help. But this is, like I said, this is cardstock, so it doesn't need anything. All right, so there's one. And I pulled out some neat colors I think will be fun to decorate and nice to put in a journal. I mean, it kind of fits my journal style anyway. 2.5 inches. And this works out really well. I have a kind of like a punch thing. I have We Are Memory Keepers, the Works. And it's a cutter. And I think it also has scoreboard in it. And just all these different tools. It's really cool. It does take up a lot of space, which I don't really have the space that I had when I first got that. So I've kind of put it in a drawer, but it has a measuring on it for making cards or envelopes. But I never could figure out how to do it. I don't know. Am I stupid? It just wasn't never clear to me on, you know, how to do it. So this one, I'm gonna come, so I've got this corner where the side folds in on a line, and the first one we came up 1/2 inch. This one I'm gonna do 3/4 of an inch and see how that turns out. So it's a matter of, you know, just experimenting, really. I mean, once you get the basic dimensions down, you can, or the basic method, I guess, down, then you can start experimenting with, well, if I increase or decrease this measurement, how is that gonna look? And this one, I think I'm going to keep at the 1/2 inch for the top. Basically, I'm using a grid and using a ruler because I couldn't do it straight to save my soul. If you don't have that problem, then, you know, maybe you don't need the grid and a ruler. But like I said, I couldn't do it to save my soul, so. So I hope everyone is okay. And finding time for some crafting. I know this time of year is pretty hectic for some people. So we kind of keep it on the down low around our house. We are not really into the commercialization of Christmas. I find it off-putting. So, you know, my grandkids aren't in the same area as me. They're about 4 hours away, so we don't get over there during the winter time anyway, because you know, the trip involves crossing a mountain range, which I have no intention of doing in the winter. Not in this area anyway. So, you know, I do send them usually gift cards because, you know, I don't know what they want. And they get so much stuff. They really do. Between their parents and grandparents on both sides. Actually, they have like 3 sets of grandparents, I think. Yeah, it'd be 3. So they get way too much stuff. I was there one time for Christmas, because I remember, and it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming to the kids. You know, they got so much stuff that, you know, they would open one thing and look at it and toss it aside and open another thing, and, you know, it's like, so I just get them a gift card. That way they can get what they want. Maybe they're, you know, saving up for something. I don't know, but it just makes it easier all the way around, you know. Sometimes I'll get them some pretty holiday clothes. You know, they have all these cute dresses and stuff at Costco. They have these really pretty dresses during the holiday, and I, you know, when I was going to Costco, I couldn't resist getting the girls these pretty dresses, and I have two girls and a boy, and I tell you, buying some cute little dresses for the 2 girls was a lot easier than finding something nice for the boy that I think he would, you know, like wearing. Now, the girls were always thrilled with the dresses, but I usually would find the boy some really nice, oh, you know, like the vests they wear, you know, for cold weather. something like that. One year I got him some slacks and kind of a nice shirt, you know, holiday type. But now that he's older, I don't I don't know that that would be a welcome thing, you know what I mean? So, and I don't go to Costco anymore, so it just got to be too hard, you know. They've opened Costco up to anybody now, you know. There is no rules like there used to be. It used to be that you had to have your own business or, you know, different things. But now it's just anybody can go, which is great for anybody, but not so great for some of us. And the fact that when we go, both of us need an electric cart. So that means getting there right, you know, before they open, pretty much. Because they, you know, they have limited, I mean, they have the electric carts, but they're extremely limited, especially when you consider, you know, the number of members they have now. You know, their electric carts are not adequate at all. I find most stores are not adequately supplied with electric carts, and given an aging population, you know, so often the electric carts are all gone, you know. It's not just older people. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people that can't walk around, you know, or maybe they have a temporary thing like, you know, broken leg or you know, surgery or something where they can't walk around, you know. It's not a permanent condition, but it does, you know, impact. So they need the electric carts. And yeah, I just don't feel that stores are adequately supplied with those. Whenever we do go to a store, we always make sure that we're up early and at the store early, just to make sure that, you know, there's the electric carts available that we need. Otherwise, we would have to turn around and go home. So, yeah, so anyway, Costco, and then it got to be too difficult because the disabled parking is just too far away, you know. If you have mobility issues and you need the use of an electric cart, what makes them think that you can walk that distance, you know, from where they have disabled parking to, at least with Costco, the electric carts are outside, out in front of, you know, the doors rather than inside somewhere. You know, that's the thing too, is in a lot of these stores, you go in the doors and you've got to hunt around for where are the electric carts hid. It's yeah, it's criminal, I think. It's not very considerate of their customers that need that help. You know, It's like, well, they can't be bothered. You know. If you need extra, maybe you should go somewhere else type of thing. I don't know. We take advantage of the online ordering and pickup service a lot just because of, you know, it's just a big hassle. So, anyway, so, yeah, I don't, for the first time in probably 30 years, 40 years, maybe, I don't have a membership at Costco. Because it was just, you know, and if you don't get there first thing when they open, there's no, you can't find parking to save your soul, you know. If you get there later in the day, you can't find parking. I mean, even before I had disability issues, I would go there and drive around and around and around and around, and there was just absolutely no parking to be had. Nothing, you know? It's crazy. So, anyway, that's a whole big story about my grandkids and their holiday clothes. But yeah, you know, one year, and this has been many years ago, I was at a store, and you know, I want to say that it was like a home improvement store. And it was September. Seriously, it was September. I'm sorry. Am I not in frame? Have I not been in frame? Uh-oh. I apologize. It was September. And I went into the store. And it was just the front entrance and everything. I mean, Christmas trees, Christmas decorations, you know, Christmas. And it was September, for heaven's sakes. Well, needless to say, that hit me wrong. And I thought, oh my God, this has just gotten out of hand, right? The commercialism of Christmas has just got out of hand. You know, they don't even talk about Thanksgiving anymore, right? Because, you know, retail does not benefit from Thanksgiving, so they would just as soon Thanksgiving go away. And, you know, Halloween and everything else, right? I mean, they were promoting Christmas in September. And I just thought, okay, enough. That's enough. And I stopped buying Christmas presents. And this was before, you know, the grandkids and all that, right? I mean, there's nothing my son or his wife need that they don't already have, right? You know, there's nothing I can buy them that they could possibly need. For a while, I was, you know, I would make things, you know, like one year I made a queen-size quilt. And one year I did a genealogy thing for my son, and I actually had the help of my ex-mother-in-law, and she gave me a lot of pictures and stuff of their family history. And so I didn't just take this to, you know, my son or, you know, his father and me. I went back, you know, many generations and got as much information as I could and as much pictures as I could. And I built this whole album for him based on both families, you know, history. And, you know, that's not something you can buy. So I don't, tell you the truth, I'm not sure how much he appreciated it, but, you know, it was from the heart. It wasn't commercialized nonsense and buying him something that he doesn't need or he doesn't want or already has, what have you, right? And so that year I sent a Christmas card a little bit earlier than normal. And I sent one to the people that I normally would, you know, buy something for, or that would buy something for me, you know, and I told them that I wasn't going to be buying any gifts, and I didn't want any gifts, and that year we were going to donate more to causes that we cared about, and we encouraged everyone to do the same, right? So my son and his wife that year, I don't know if they've continued, but that year they volunteered with Habitat for Humanity. And I was just, that really warmed my heart, that they really took what I said to heart and, you know, actually did something to give back. Because, you know, Christmas shouldn't be about what you get, you know? It should be about friends and family and just enjoying each other's company and getting together and just, you know, loving each other. It shouldn't be about what you get. And I'm sorry, but I think the commercialization of Christmas has just gone over the top. So, what's your Christmas traditions? Is there anything special that you do for Christmas? Special little traditions your family has, or certain recipes that you always make for Christmas dinner, that kind of thing. One year I made oysters for Christmas dinner. So yeah, that was fun. I mean, I did not grow up with Christmas really, so I don't have a lot of preconceived notions, or, you know, we have to have turkey, or we have to have roast beef, or we have to have, you know, I didn't grow up with any of that. So, you know, I am free to experiment and do other things. And yeah, one year we had oysters. It was really good. Okay, so we've got 4 envelopes made. And so now we're going to decorate. And I thought it would be fun to put pockets on them. And this is something you would paper clip in to a journal, or put it in a little tuck spot somewhere. Yeah, that's cute, isn't it? So I just had these things laying on my desk. I've been cutting out ephemera. Oh my goodness. I tell you, I'm the queen of ephemera. There's not an ephemera that I don't, want to get. But then I have, pages and pages and pages of all these little things to cut out, whether it's, labels or words or, things like these pockets that come in kits. So yeah, I've been cutting them out. I got that in a previous video. I showed you the old photo album that I picked up at a thrift store, and am making that into an ephemera holder. And so I dug out all the sheets of ephemera that I've printed out but haven't cut out, because I didn't have anywhere to put the ephemera once it was cut out. I'm actually going through and doing that now, so lots and lots of ephemera. Okay, so what else do we have on our desk? I'm just using what's on my desk, literally. And no, I didn't gather everything up before I turned on the video to say, this was what on my desk, No, I didn't do that. Trust me, this stuff is literally been on my desk, floating about. And I have these little bows that I cut out. So, I don't know. I don't really care for the color of bows that I seem to have, but that's nice. Let's do a little bit of this. So yeah, we keep Christmas pretty simple around here. We have a little tree. I have a it's a what's it called? It's not a real tree, right? It's anyway. One year I wanted a white tree. No, I wanted a white tree with white lights. Very, very specific. White tree with white lights. And, those, I can't think of the word for them. Isn't that dumb? Those kind of trees, they're not inexpensive anymore. And this was a few years ago too. They're not inexpensive anymore. They've gotten quite expensive. I mean, hundreds of dollars for these trees. I was kind of taken aback by that. It's like, wow, this isn't. So what I did was I started watching, Craigslist, and I wanted something local, so I didn't really go to eBay. But I did Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, and just kept looking, kept searching for, you know, Christmas trees and white Christmas trees, and lo and behold, I mean, it took a while. It did. It took a while. And I was beginning to lose hope that I would find it, you know, what I wanted, what I was looking for. But yeah, one day up it popped, exactly what I wanted. And I also wanted one that wasn't too big, because our, you know, the space in the living room for a tree is not a large area. So it couldn't be too big either. It couldn't be too tall. You know, I just had all these specifications. But lo and behold, one day, there it was. The right size, the right height. It was white. White lights. And so I was able to get one. I can't remember now what I paid for it, but it was a lot less, I tell you, than what they want for trees these days. Artificial. That's it. Artificial. Oh my goodness. I tell you guys, I don't know. I know the words, you know, they're in the filing cabinet, but those filing cabinet drawers don't open very quickly these days. So, yeah, artificial trees. Golly, they've gotten expensive, haven't they? Oh my heavens. And they're probably even worse now. Ew, that has a bug on it. I don't like bugs. Get rid of that. You know, I don't mind bees. I like bees. And I like butterflies, of course. Who doesn't like butterflies, right? And I like dragonflies. Ladybugs are okay. I go out of my way to put a ladybug, but I mean, ladybugs are fine. They don't bother me. But I have to say, most other bugs I don't have, don't like creepy crawly. I consider spiders to be spawns of the devil. Them and their, you know, webs of horror. God. Ugh. So, yeah, I don't guess so. We need to have something for a closure, though. Let's see. I got some circles that I cut out. Did a bunch of circles. Oops. And they're all over the place. Tons of circles. So, do we want that? That would be good. Do we want... Where's my scissors? So, yeah, I thought this would just be a relaxing little thing to use up stuff that are floating around on my desk for the last several days, and take a break from fussy cutting. Ugh. I do not like fussy cutting. I know some people do, you know, but I don't mind it. You know, if I minded it that much, I wouldn't have all this ephemera that I keep buying and downloading and printing, right? I don't know. Some people don't. I mean, they make they make their embellishments other ways. You know, they don't have a whole bunch of ephemera and stuff that they've printed from a digital kit. You know, they just kind of make things out of scraps and things like that. And I think that might be a good idea. Possibly. I don't know. I just very enamored with the ephemeras. Pretty labels and different things, you know. It's a very windy day here today. I heard that a big storm is starting in the west and going to go across the country. It's a tremendous windstorm that we're having here. The canvas cover on our gazebo on our back patio is flopping in the wind and trying to escape. So some of the anchors are still holding, so you know, I hope we don't lose it. It's a fairly new one too, because our last one got ripped to shreds in a winter storm. It literally was ripped to shreds. And I think part of it went sailing across the golf course. We're not going to run out after it, are we? No. Couldn't do that. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't do that. So, there we go. So, nice little closure. And used up some of these stickers. I have all these stickers that, you know, it's just been kind of sitting around for a while, and I never find a reason to use it. So anyway, I think that's pretty cool. Let's get out another one here. Ugh, we're almost out of time. Can you believe it? I don't know what happens to the time. I say that a lot. What has happened to the time? Let's see. I saw these, and these are kind of what told me what color envelopes to start with. You know, I have a whole pile of these 8x8 textured cardstock, and I pulled out just certain colors. It was kind of based on this sheet that I had right here that was kind of on the top of my pile of ephemera that needs to be cut out. And so I was looking at this, and this is kind of what dictated what colors I pulled out. So this is kind of a, I don't know, mustard color, and the green is like more of a moss green, which I really like, moss green type shades rather than, you know, green. Go. These are always fiddly. Do you find these fiddly? Being able to fold these in the right place? I find it a little difficult. see, I still didn't get it right. Maybe the trick is to score it, huh? Maybe that's what you need to do, is score these so you can fold them in the right place. I just, you know, I wish designers didn't put a solid line. You know what I mean? They put this solid line on there. So, you know, I like to fold it so that solid line is actually in back rather than showing, because I don't really care for that. But I really have a hard time getting these to fold in the right place. So yeah, maybe just getting out the scoreboard and scoring this would be the best idea. All right, so yeah, look at that. Isn't that cute? I thought that would be cute. Just decorate up some envelopes. Use up some things on my desk. And have these things ready to pop into a journal, you know? I find it more satisfying. Make sure I have it going the right way. I find it more satisfying when doing a journal to be able to just fill it with ephemera that you already have, that you've already made, you know. And I don't know, I find it very, well, kind of a, you know, when you're in between projects, you know, when I just completed the Ireland Forever projects where we made not only a journal but a memory keeper too. So, you know, we just got done with that, and I don't know, I find it very relaxing and kind of a nice step from, you know, doing a project like that, and before you start another project, to just, you know, just make ephemera. Yeah, so I just find it a very nice bridge, as it were, from doing a project to, you know. So and then you have this for, you know, your next journal or your next project. You have a bunch of ephemera that you can pull from. You know, not all ephemera is going to work, right? Some might not have the right color or the right look, or, you know, the right something. But if you have a lot of it to choose from, you know, chances are you're going to find something, especially if, you know, you stay within your basic style, as it were. You know, I don't have anything that, you know, is bright colored or, you know, stuff like that, because my style mostly is vintage. Whether it's nature, you know, flower themed, or, you know, something like that, it's still, you know, the basic is still vintagey. So I like that. Huh? We need something else though, don't we? But what? What? I should look at, you know, I've got this whole pile of ephemera on my desk. I don't know where all this has even come from, unless the designer puts their name, you know, in one of the corners when you print it. I don't recall where it's come from. I mean, some of this stuff I printed out months ago, right? I just found the whole pile of ephemera that I had stashed away somewhere in a corner, and I thought, oh, well, I need to get these out, cut them down, and put them in my little photo album ephemera keeper. And I thought this would be good, but I think that's good. I like that. So, oh, look at this. These are cool. I don't know. I think that's good, though. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Huh? So much ephemera. So little time. But yeah, I think sitting and just making envelopes or pockets, little clusters for tuck spots, belly bands, journaling cards, you know, all that, tags, all those things, you know, you can sit and make those in between projects, and it's just a nice buffer. It's just a nice bridge to, you know, until you start another project. So let's just draw like that. Stick to my fingers. You're not supposed to stick to my fingers. Did I ink this up? Kind of looks like I might have, but oops. Anyway, so I think we're going to call this good. Jeez, where does the time go, huh? Where does the time go? I say that all the time. Of course, I like it when the work week goes by fast. Okay, well, that's going to be it for now. We've done a couple of these. I think I'm going to put this on the back like that and do something as a closure. Oops. Do something on a closure on this one. But yeah, so just get out your scraps, get out some 8x8 or 6x6 paper. You can even cut paper to that size if you don't have, you know, 8x8s already. You can sure cut it down, but this makes a nice size envelope, I think. Let's see, what size is this anyway? I don't think I've ever measured. It's about 6 inches wide and 4 inches tall. So yeah, this makes a nice size envelope. A person can, you know, really put something in there, you know. So yeah, that starts with an 8x8 piece of paper. So get out there and make yourself some envelopes and get ready for your next project. Until then, take care of you, love each other, and I'll see you again. Bye.